It's a for my papa about the Likee TV message and number channel so hit Addo man subscribe or like it. Shema wana Mpenssivé be sunya binche jemre ni adaje mongra sim ne den semetwe gu no ye fa emunsem enyina emre mo ni ye bowrema atifo nsembe na betodua Okudzeto ablakwa wa Shठी Jubilee house. Yes, wa Shठी Jubilee house with hot Sccinndhl be pa no den. Yes, wa Shठी ho pa na ya ne busa se enti papa him fun with me the source of information. It was the information he ha no den. How he did those informations, no, it's no den, but well, you mungo me na ye share scandals na ni me bia. So kutu abaye ba de ka ho no ye de Mnsívé na bebrem.
Ubekaya enche bia na obi will. Then you who say, hey,
Asmata forever.
That's what is happening. Ye jin say ye nyina ye dia. Nanso akwa share nkrofo wheels mo.
So what impression are we creating? It's like say you buying dear unless we give it to individuals. I mean, I don't get it. Anyway, let's go into it. Yeah, sure genesis of this whole Senate hotels and
Inti me intercepted documents from Senate. Say omo selected a preferred buyer. Say your hotels no omo ton 4 of the hotels. Labadi Beach Hotel, La Palm Royal, Ridge Royal, and Elmina Beach. Omuton ama the Honorable Minister for Food and Agriculture, Brian Achampo. And I'm say, and then I also. Hotels are a year in a year. I didn't know yet Tom Nipa Bako, the company Rock City, and Usher incorporation documents are secure no. On one or yeah, the beneficial owner or your director. There were 2 directors, or you're one of the directors, or no or your beneficial owner, or no or you're the sole shareholder. Into this attempt by some people to say, oh, a hotel, but maybe only interest be a woman, Debbie. On relinquishing the interest. On one a nidia into Rock City, or Munya Sika, or Munya Profiter, a Cobra jump on the account. Into so far this transaction, what is it? Ubia Akasa on behalf of Rock City. Onwa no Kasama Rock City. Onwa. That should tell you. Say a yenidia. That is the first point. Now, me who sa letter no, and immediately me ka say, nipa we wa buying mo, or your minister. Na transaction no air cost or more finalize here. They are just about to sign. Under the constitution, no, if you have suspicion of conflict of interest,
sure.
The forum, baby, as I say, we call a shraj. Shraj na constitution no ama omutumi. Entemara 17th May.
Yeah.
Enna may file a petition to shraj, a conflict of interest petition, grounded on Article 284. Okay, Article 284 of the Constitution of Ghana, Yachrowo say, a public officer shall not put himself in a position where his personal interests conflict or is likely to conflict with the performance of the functions of his office. And we a public officer and say we engage in conduct. Now, we share Shraj rulings. Me was Shraj rulings no ewaha.
Okay.
Our more ruling. Shraj for a very classic case on conflict of interest, the Anane case, and me was that decision September 15, 2006. Miss Anna Bosman at the time, the acting commissioner, chairperson. Now, the way I define a conflict of interest in that ruling by Shraj, no. Omuka said, page 21. Omuka said, the commission has held that a public official breaches this provision not only where there is actual conflict of interest, but also where there is a likelihood of conflict of interest.
Okay.
Where there is already in existence a personal relation between a public officer and another person, or between their respective institutions or companies, there is an onerous responsibility on the public officer to ensure that all future transactions between the two persons or institutions are conducted with utmost transparency and in such manner as to avoid suspicion of any improper motive or conduct. That is the Shraj ruling. Into conflict of interest, no, it's not only actual.
Yeah.
A perceived, apparent. Yeah. So even the likelihood, the suspicion, because we a minister, or more taking decision, or more tone hotels way. Yeah. Can they really look at a minister, cabinet minister, and say yen toma, yen favor? Into the likelihood, and in addition to this constitutional provision, Article 284, no, Uber Article 78 and Article 98, there were other conflict of interest guidelines. Article 78, I say, ministers of state shall be appointed. Article 78. 78.3. I say, a minister of state shall not hold any other office of profit or emolument, whether private or public, and whether directly or indirectly, unless otherwise permitted by the Speaker, acting on the recommendation of a committee of Parliament, on the ground that A, that holding that office will not prejudice the work of the minister, and B, that no conflict of interest arises or will arise as a result of the minister holding that office. Article 98 where it applies to members of Parliament. Into we a minister, we a MP, would to mean holding office of profit. Just you meet the committee of holding office of profit. No more investigation. Say transaction way no. There's no conflict of interest. Now Speaker, I'm our certificate. And sana
process and
yaketwa. We na ona ubra champion one year. My checking records no me were all the 47 ministers and MPs are or more certificate from the Speaker. Ni din enka ho. Inti we breaching Article 70, we breaching Article 98. Snake for omu ye omu ejuma. Anka is so omu say this person has not met the requirement. Only certificate. Inti and say so omu entertaining no cry. Inti all of this matters are a wash Shraj. Now me call Shraj no. Enna minia me intercepting more documents. Document bakwa me intercepting ewa. Snid for ankasa omu memo, internal memo. Yeah. On the valuation of these hotels. Sena Rock City bid no. Offer now omu ye no was far below. Into eba value for money. Anka yenyina ansori. Anko and tear this transaction anka is a giveaway. Memo no say and snake for anka some memo.
Okay.
4 hotels no total valuation $121 million. Nanso Rock City omo offer just $61 million.
Out of the 121.
Out of the $121 million.
Hey.
Yes. Labadi Beach Hotel. Snake for anka valuation almost say Monton Hotel no 60% shares no. Monton no for $45.1 million. Rock City offer 29.4 million. Yeah. Just half. La Palm Royal, Rock City for Ankasa omo valuation. Independent valuers omo year valuation. Almost say Monton no $47.1 million. Snake for say Rock City offer no. Or more general, or more entertaining, $21 million, not 47, half, less than half. Ridge Royal, $15.3 million. Rock City say or more $8.4 million, not 15.
Hey.
Yeah, that's what we are talking about.
That's a bid in no show amounts now is less than half
of the actual valuation.
Actual value. Yeah,
less than half of the value.
Okay.
Elmina Beach. Yes, see, Montono 60% shares, so $13.7 million. Rock City, see, the Ombema $2.4 million. Can you believe that? Not 13.7. Into Osha Rock City bid now, there's no value for money. No value for money. Into say, you can say, idea way. A conflict of interest, a canana, more from a colleague in government, and you are creating a special dispensation for him. This is the evidence. Meanwhile, no, as same way by me call Shraj, a publisher, you know, Snit for Eba Bontin Beka said, oh, Rock City bid was the highest. We will get good money. Omupe strategic investor. Now say Rock City, Edisika Bar, and they made the highest bid. And Chebiana Freddie Blay, Okoye interview when he was attacking me. And all they told just say, Neba every day for $150 to $200 million. Inti Ebanisena Snit for Chan Troka say, Bra Champon bid no air the highest. 61 million. Can it compare to $150 to $200 million? And
now say
clearly no.
Freddie Blay ne bano ne bid no crowd was so. How did that man raise that kind of money?
Good question. That is another major question. Or your 33 years. And there are a lot of wonders.
What's this? This kind of year saying
$150 to $200 million.
$150 to $200 million.
Yes. Ne papa ne beka. Ne papa. And no crese or bede ne company Spartan Ives. Or more for beachfront no. Now,
hi.
After me intercepted documents, we know. Me science so intercepted the transaction advisors report. Many about and no crowd is the most explosive. Hey, me what transaction advisor we know. A seeker taxpayers' money. And you're engaging you're $491,000. That is about 7.1 million Ghana cedis.
For what?
Say, Ombe advise Snit for on this transaction. And the answer na you better hotels no crown, you're 7.1 million. You're the same capital echo. $491,000.
Now that's can say to me.
For Mnsessivé in Tremukakra, Yankoponya Duma, 7 December, Nabatu Basso, Nanina say, Mr. Say, come home near Mossum, Joe, the range of my Ghana, no, my Ghana, so intimate fun into my pen friend, and in a kiss him no me, no, and I need I yet my boss from Joe, the road at my Ghana, come home, dear Nisa Domain.
Hotel no crowd,
yeah, Mosi Munisika, we are desperate. Nanso, no problem. Sika Kesi, we are. More spending to engage a transaction advisor. Transaction advisor, I issue report 24th May 2024. Tumofo. Say Rock City deal no more ignore transaction advisor no.
And then they come buy and for also.
Good financial loss. Munim say transaction advisor no mun tie ne advice. Ebani signer mu engage no. At least save us the money.
What Mama Shadi?
This is a transaction advisory addressed to the board.
The board of trustees.
Of trustees.
From the transaction advisor.
Yeah, same capital.
24th May 2024.
Yeah. And Mamin Kain, a summary of the findings on the Rock City bid. Hey. Page 2. And this is signed by same capital for CEO, Dr. Samensa, the signature.
When they are authentic
Dr. Samensa. Yeah.
Authentic.
You ignore what I said. Transaction advisor, over 7 million. Say, Ombe advises net.
Advice 7 million.
Hey, or your doctor. Your doctor. Advice.
Okay.
Number 1. Or say, the Rock City proposal is a cash payment of $30.8 million. And then the rest is spread over a 24 months tenure. It's on installment basis. There is no interest rate. Interest rate, none, 0. Yeah. Enti adea mwankasa musi obia obebide no as I say mu wasika no boom one offer. Yes, because musi mo here say adena mo spread the mo installment. Enti transaction advisor say the proposal offers an installment plan with no confirmation of availability of funds. Payment is based on the cash flows of Rock City Hotel with no credit enhancement from any bank. There is no indication of ability to pay.
Okay.
The arrangements for the transfer of the shares do not satisfy the Snit's objectives The transfer of the management and ownership will take 2 years. The 2-year installment plan was not made available to all bidders. Until you can say insider dealing.
Wow.
All the other bidders, no companies, no bid. Young country or say, move to me at Tiano on installment basis over 2 years. You can say, Munina, Mun Kope Musika. Cash. Na mumbe bidi. Ebani saying that Brad Champon Kwandie, Mwamano installment plan, Mwamano 2 years. That is not all. Transaction advisor no say the latest proposal does not meet the objectives of SNIT, which were clearly stated in the terms of reference for the transaction. Or say the proposal does not indicate the source of funding for the balance of the acquisition price. Other investors who submitted bids did not have an option of spreading the payment of shares over a 2-year period. Rock City Hotel's latest proposal does not include a bank guarantee. Damning. Mean kind report be a year damning say. Or say the current proposal does not reflect a bank guarantee and a firm indication of the ability of Rock City Hotel to settle the transaction in full. Below is an analysis of the semi-annual payment that will be required of Rock City at different rates of interest. Now, Omoyomo analysis. And they continue. Assuming that SNIT accepts a 2-year plan with semi-annual payments and an interest rate of 2.5%, the periodic payment that will be required of Rock City Hotel will be $7.8 million. That's $109.7 million. Rock City Hotel's financials cannot support the transaction. The table below shows that Rock City Hotel's total projected annual revenue of 2024 cannot meet the half-year installment payment of 109.7 million Ghana cedis. In addition, the company does not have cash reserves to support the installment payments. In short, the current proposal does not meet the requirement to demonstrate the financial capacity to close the transaction. Same capital. Can you believe that?
So that's a document on your screen. Mo amosha ye wo TV no beti.
Inti transaction advisor ya tuano sika Kesi over 7 million. Atomofo. And this is 24th May. More than a month. And send a board chair no. Ochosa ne krata that epistle. 26 June. Oka say ono die ye kofre sorabofo from heaven, Bakrana, she knows that they will declare the transaction clean. Now, she had received this report. Last week, press conference now, Kofi Bosempem or Safuma for addressing, he was aware of this transaction advisor's report. And yet was saying, say, Bibia and Bibia ye kama, Bibia ye clean, and that they are going ahead. Look at this damning report. Very damning. Meanwhile, no, Usher SNIT for Ankasa me were advert on Monday 7 February 2022. Omo LST pre-qualification criteria. Omo ka say, Obia Obabe Bedeno. Make sure you have sources and proof of funding. And sana yebe consider will bid. Transaction advisor no ka say, Rock City, you didn't have source of funding. You didn't have a bank guarantee. Into Rock City bid no, should not even have qualified. In addition, no, SNIT for pre-qualification criteria almost say valid SNIT and GRA clearance certificate. Mubekaya me intercepted documents from GRA. Me were copy wa. These filings at GRA reveal say at the time Rock City put in their bid, no, they couldn't have had a valid tax clearance certificate because bid no was happening in first quarter of 2022. Until you should bring your filings. Almost 2021, me were GRA documents. Okay. 2021, a year 2 years after, 9th March 2023, and na omoko filing omo taxes for 2021. Until when they were putting in the bid 2022, no, they couldn't have had a valid tax clearance certificate. Because
is that the reason why our respondent said we need
proof. Yes, yeah. That many proof na me intercept bibia na obeto obeche me transaco dying as if say me a homeless. I need his house, you know, so that I can move from the streets. These are the documents. So me say my intercepted BB, I have it. Into tax clearance ben or the year bid, and that is a prerequisite. More and more can say pre-qualification criteria.
Because it's part of the requirements.
Pre-qualification criteria. Say who need be a be disqualified. Into deal with whichever aspect you look at it. A time. A bon kind. Whichever way you look at it. Whichever, and these are the issues. Internal organized labor will be anybody who has seen these documents. Say, what is going on here? Dear cost no, work and pay. Ye chair hotel no, ye chair modia monka say hotel no. Ya decided say, ye demand your colleague in government. Yeah. Ye de channel. Just say that now ye na yatias here. Because that's what is happening.
That's our investment.
Yes, that's our investment.
Obi estimate contributor, that's your money. It's your investment. So you should have interest.
Inti, when you look at the issues, they are very clear, sir. These are fundamental issues. There were constitutional violations. There were violations of your Income Tax Act. Violations of your procurement laws. And then, if you look at even the valuation report, if you look at the transaction advisors reports, it's all a disaster. It's a total mess. The whole arrangement, you know, about a year work and pay arrangement. Sikana Labadi Beach Hotel for a one, and nona anka omode be over the 2-year period, you know. Now, because me were Labadi Beach for omo profits, omo financial statements. Osha last year, and for the month ending 31st December 2023. Labadi Beach Hotel, into sa press conference now. Mr. Busimpi, yeah, I say hotels, Nina, Omunfa Bibian Buffie, just making losses. And you know, Labadi Beach Hotel. Last year, gross profit 158.4 million. Profit after tax, operating profit, 58.2 million for 2023. The year before 2022, 55 million, according to Deloitte. Deloitte for auditing.
Active for Yadomasi, some of your bread or daily update TV, it's here in Semi. Your best so the latest one as subscribe and like, share, drop here, also, Benny.